Okay, hello there everyone. We have a lot of news going on here in Queens that we need to get into in this video today. I know, given circumstances, I try not to post videos twice a day, but given there's a lot going on, we need to do this video today, given that, there's so much media bias going on as usual. Now, this morning, every media outlet did a fantastic job covering the fire that happened in Queens this morning. We're talking about the one in Bayside. It was a 2 alarm that was transmitted. AM New York had an article, so we're going to read what they said here. So, it says here that 3 Queens family members died as flames ripped through their home in a 2 alarm fire earlier this morning. Fire department sources said the blaze ignited about 2:40 a.m. earlier this morning. This is at 208th Street between 33rd and 34th Avenue in Bayside. Chief of Department from the FDNY, John Esposito, said that the first responding units were alerted to a smoke condition by residents along 34th Avenue via numerous 911 calls and conducted a canvass of the area to determine the source. Moments later, they spotted heavy smoke emanating from the basement of the residence located on 208th Street. Esposito said, "We had fire in the cellar, and that fire extended from the cellar up to the first floor through the walls and a little bit into the second floor. Heavy smoke conditions throughout the entire building, so there was a lot of fire in the cellar." FDNY personnel began fighting the fire. They also located 2 unconscious people in a first floor bedroom, and a third unconscious individual was in the basement. Police sources from the 111 said that victims were a 56-year-old man and 2 women, ages 54 and 90. Sources believe the woman and the man were related to one another. All 3 victims were pronounced dead a short time after being pulled from the fire. The city medical examiner's office will conduct autopsies to determine exactly how they were expired. Commissioner Robert Tucker nonetheless mourned the 3 residents who perished in the blaze. In a quoted statement to AM New York Metro, he said that "We had 3 people who lost their lives in the fire, and that's unacceptable to me. We're going to do everything at the FDNY to make sure that the fire deaths stay low. We certainly are thinking about the families that were affected by this." More than 100 FDNY personnel from 25 units responded to the fire. While no serious injuries were reported to them, Chief Esposito noted the death toll from the fire nonetheless impacts those who worked on the job. Esposito said, "Our firefighters do medical runs. Obviously, a lot of fires, car accidents, so anytime they have that exposure, it's traumatic. We notify our counseling service unit for all of our members that were affected by this." FDNY said that the blaze was brought under control at 4:10 a.m. this morning. Marshals will conduct an investigation that caused the fire. So, very unfortunate. In fact, we do have an address of the fire, so we're going to refresh the page, and I'm going to show you where this is on Google Maps in just a second, because we do have something that I just reposted on Twitter X. So I know this is taking a while to load. I do apologize. Sometimes Twitter X can be buggy. So this is the only picture I'm going to show because the other pictures are just too graphic. If you want to see the other pictures, they are on my Twitter X handle at Andy's Randomness if you do want to see them. So let me just get you the address of the fire, and I'm going to show you it right here. This was the address, 33-35 208th Street. So this was right between 34th and 33rd Avenue. Now, if you are familiar with this area of Bayside, you know that this is a block away from the Clearview Expressway Service Road. And right over here is the northbound on-ramp from 35th Avenue that goes direct to the Clearview Expressway, goes to Willets Point Boulevard, and then leads right over to where the Throgs Neck Bridge goes into the Bronx. So this is where the incident occurred. It looks like, yeah, I know exactly where this is. Because I was like, wait a minute. This is like a block away from where the Q31 is. So I know exactly where this is. Mm-hmm. See, there's Borough Boulevard. And then right here is Crocodile Park. And then once you go up Corporal Kennedy, which is right up here, that is where the Bay Terrace Shopping Plaza is. So I know exactly where this is. So let's see what the house looked like before the fire. I think we have the most recent street view from October of 2024. And as you can see here, this is definitely a more recent street view. So, it looked like a small dwelling from what I'm making out. So, let's just be sympathetic here. Very unfortunate incident that occurred this morning. And, you know, prayers go out to the family members, the friends who basically were affected by this. Just very sad and unfortunate news. So, yeah, right now, yeah, here we go. Okay. So I'm wondering, this is the other urgent story we're going to get into. Because this also broke this morning. We are getting word of a fatal shooting that occurred in Holliswood. So let's read this information. Law enforcement sources say that Deaza Barkley of Sutter Avenue in Brooklyn, age 17, was gunned down inside of a residence at the 8700 block of Clover Place in Holliswood at about 5:13 a.m. on February 15th. So she was shot yesterday afternoon at 5:13 p.m. Officers from the 107 precinct who were called to the home after receiving a 911 call about the shooting found Barkley with a gunshot wound to her head. Sadly, the victim was taken to NYC Health Jamaica Hospital, but she could not be saved and was pronounced dead a short time later. The motive for the shooting is not yet known. Pix 11 reported that a 15-year-old boy at the scene was taken into custody for further questioning in the case, but police sources could not confirm that information this morning. No arrests have been made, ongoing investigation. So there you have it. So, very unfortunate. I'm going to see where this is. Just let me get you where Hollis is. I'm going to look it up in just a second. So we're going to pull it up right here. Zoom out. Because I know Holliswood very well. Alright, I'm pretty sure I can find this if we can. Yeah, so let's just type it in Clover Place. There it is right here. So I'm thinking, yeah, this is right on top of Hillside Avenue. So where is the Clearview Expressway? Because I'm pretty sure I know. Yeah, see, there's Francis Lewis. Yep. So I know exactly where this is. Good thing it didn't happen anywhere near Epsom Course. I think, right? Because I know this area pretty well. Because I have a friend who lives right off Epsom Course. So, very alarming that this happened last night. Just very alarming. So, we're going to move on to our next story. And this involved a very disturbing incident in Ozone Park that has not been getting enough media coverage. A woman was found dead in her apartment. Very alarming here. So it says that Rosa Cruz was killed inside her residence on the 9000 block of 95th Avenue at about 12:32 a.m. on February 15th. So it says here that officers from the 102 precinct responded to a 911 call for assistance at the location, found Cruz in the kitchen unconscious and unresponsive. EMS pronounced her dead at the scene. Police sources say that Cruz was found with trauma to her neck and arms. Her body was transferred to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy to determine the exact cause of death. So far, no arrests have been made in the ongoing investigation. So, detectives from the 102 are questioning an individual in connection with the case. And then we have one more story here. There was a fatal stabbing near the Sunnyside McDonald's on Queens Boulevard and 38th Street. So I know exactly where this is, because this is right on top of the 7 train. So it says here that a 14-year-old boy was charged in a deadly stabbing that occurred on Valentine's Day. Police stated the fatal stabbing occurred around 3:30 p.m. at the McDonald's restaurant in Sunnyside. The teenager, Julian Cornell of 159th Street in South Jamaica, and reportedly a student of Hillcrest High School, got into a fight with several other teens at the fast food restaurant. The altercation may have started inside the McDonald's and spilled onto the street. According to police, Cornell was stabbed multiple times in the abdomen and was rushed to Weill Cornell Medical Center in Astoria in critical condition, where he was declared dead. Officers from the 108 precinct responded to the scene. A knife was found near the scene, though authorities have not confirmed if it was the murder weapon. So, yes. Now, we do have an update from the Daily News regarding this, so let me find that article that was in today's paper. I thought they had the suspect's name, but again, since the suspect is a juvenile, the police aren't going to give it. But yeah, they did mention it in the Daily News today. It was like the front page story. Let me find it. Yeah, this is the 14-year-old, sadly, because New York one was actually... let me show you it right here. See? It's very unfortunate that this happened. Alright, I'm going to read about 6 more articles and then we'll wrap up this video. Because as I said, there's a lot going on here in Queens that we need to get into. So, here in Fresh Meadows, if you're not aware, because again, the media is covering it up, there was a hate crime. St. John's University. Somebody made a swastika in the snow on campus. So when did this happen? So according to the 107 precinct, 2 swastikas were in front of Newman Hall. Let me move this to the left so you can read this. Yes, so this is the administrative building known as Purboil Hall. This occurred on January 24th at 5:15 p.m. So obviously the hate crimes unit is investigating this incident. St. John's spokesperson Brian Broney said, St. John's condemns any anti-Semitism and continues to engage with members of the campus community on our ongoing effort to prevent and address all hate and forms of discrimination. Okay, so we do have a surveillance video from the Crime Stoppers unit. So they were walking eastbound on Union Turnpike back on February 3rd. Okay, so here's what we know right now. They have medium complexions and are approximately 18 to 20 years of age. One wore a black bubble jacket over a black hooded sweatshirt, black jeans, and black sneakers. The second suspect wore a black jacket, black jeans, and white and black sneakers. So, yes. This is a very important thing to note. Through February 2nd, the 107 precinct has reported 2 hate crimes so far in this calendar year, after no hate crimes were reported at the same point last year. Could it have something to do with the ceasefire in Israel? That's a good question. Because we know that a lot of Israeli hostages have been freed. And I think the ceasefire is supposed to end, I think, this week, if I'm correct. That's a good question. So it may have something to do with the ceasefire. Could make sense. You have to add 2, 2, and 4. Now, I want to get to this incident that occurred on the Clearview Expressway. And me and my dad were disturbed about this because this was on Tuesday, February 4th. Correct. Right. I marked the date correctly because I remembered it very well. So, I was heading to work at Long Island Jewish. And me and my dad were very disturbed to find out what happened. So we were going on from the Clearview Expressway. We were curious to see if the police were near the Grand Central Parkway. So I'm like, you know what? Let's see what's going on. And so our surprise, we see a bunch of cops on the northbound side of the Clearview Expressway investigating a wooded area near Cunningham Park. So a man was identified. And Channel 7 actually did a good job covering this. So let's read the Queens Courier article. A man from Widgewood was identified as a murder victim whose body was discovered along the Clearview Expressway back on Tuesday, February 4th. And I will mention that I got an alert from the Channel 7 app as I was leaving my house in Fresh Meadows. So the man that was dead, 57-year-old Emmanuel Moncure, age 57 of Margaret Place, was spotted in the grass near the tree line by a motorist who pulled on the northbound shoulder near the Union Turnpike exit, which is exit 2 alongside Cunningham Park, just before 9 a.m. on February 4th. Yes. The motorist did call 911. Police from the 111 precinct in Bayside responded to the scene and found Moncure face down with head trauma. He was hogtied, according to a spokeswoman from the NYPD, meaning his hands and feet were both bound together. EMS pronounced him dead at the scene. Following an autopsy, his death was deemed a homicide caused by blunt force trauma to the head by the city's office and chief medical examiner back on Thursday, February 6th. Obviously, no arrest, ongoing investigation. So very, very disturbing that, again, me and my dad had to see that. I mean, we didn't see the body, but we did see the police on the side of the road as we were going on to exit 1 for the Grand Central Parkway that morning. So we were like, whoa, you don't normally see this amount of cops on the Clearview Expressway normally. So very alarming that this happened. And then we had this incident that didn't get that much media coverage. There was an accident on the Belt Parkway that occurred last Saturday, February 8th. So let's read this article. So it said here that a 27-year-old woman was killed in a single vehicle crash. Police from the 116th precinct in Rosedale responded to a 911 call of a motor vehicle collision near 223rd Street and came upon the wreckage of a white Toyota Camry with the victim and her passenger lying on the roadway after they had been ejected from the crash. EMS responded to the location. The woman was taken to Long Island Jewish Valley Stream, where she was pronounced dead. EMS transported the 30-year-old man to North Shore University Hospital in Manhasset, where he was listed in stable condition. Following investigation by the Highway District Collision Investigation Squad, the woman was traveling eastbound on the Belt Parkway approaching Brookville Park at 3:47 a.m. on Saturday, February 8, 2025. She failed to navigate the roadway and crashed into sand barrels along the shoulder. The impact ejected her and her passenger from the front-wheel drive Toyota Camry. So what I want to know is, what year was this Camry from? Because that's very alarming, because I just mentioned this was a front-wheel drive car. So I know Toyota Camrys very well. Especially because my mom's friend's husband owns one. That is very, very disturbing. Yeah, it looked like this happened right on top of the Sunrise Highway Brookville Boulevard exit that leads right into the Southern State Parkway and the Cross Island Parkway. Because I know that area very well. Alright, we have 3 more articles to read for you in this video today. Senior woman was stabbed multiple times during home invasion in her Flushing apartment. So this happened February 2nd. Okay. Police from the 109 precinct responded to a 911 call of an attempted robbery inside the apartment building located near Roosevelt Avenue and Parsons Boulevard just before 5:45 p.m. on Sunday, February 2nd. The 65-year-old woman with multiple stab wounds to her body. A preliminary investigation determined that the 2 men were checking apartment doors on her floor when they found the front door of the victim's apartment was unlocked. They entered the unit and attempted to steal her property when she came upon the scene from another room. The burglars allegedly stabbed her multiple times throughout her body with a cutting instrument and ran off empty-handed. The victim was taken to Booth Memorial Medical Center in Flushing, where she was listed in stable condition. There have been no arrests, ongoing investigation. Through January 26, the 109 precinct in Flushing has reported 31 felony assaults so far in 2025, one fewer than the 32 reported at the same point in January of 2024. a decline of 3.1% according to the most recent CompStat report. However, in the 109 precinct, burglaries are on the rise. So far, there have been 43 reported this year in the 109 precinct, 9 more compared to the 34 reported at the same point in January of 2024. It's an increase of 12.2%. So that is very, very alarming. Alright, transit crime news, because it's my job at Passengers United to cover this stuff. I haven't done it in a while, but now things are picking up in the transit beat. So we have 2 stories to report for you. Actually, no, I want to read this one first. This is a more urgent one. An E-train rider was struck and killed at the Forest Hills 71st Avenue subway station on February 2nd. Because my team at Passengers United was keeping an eye on this one. This was a very serious incident. Says here that a man was struck and killed by an E-train as it approached the Forest Hills 71st Avenue station on Sunday, February 2nd. Police from the 112 precinct in Forest Hills in Transit District 20 responded to a 911 call of an injured man at the location just before 2:30 p.m. and found the victim on the tracks. EMS responded to the location. The man was pronounced dead on scene. The victim was reportedly riding a northbound E-train between cars as he slipped and fell to the track bed when he was struck by the subway. Oh boy. So he was... you can't be doing that. I mean, yeah, I've been guilty of trying to switch cars because of cuckoos in the train, but riding in between cars is dangerous. You can't be doing that. The identity of the deceased pending proper family notification, no criminality, ongoing investigations. So. And then we have this last one. Suspects sought in a random subway attack aboard the F train in Rego Park. So this happened on February 5th. The NYPD released images and video of the suspect behind a violent assault on board a Jamaica 179th Street bound F train as it approached the 67th Avenue station at about 12:05 a.m. on Wednesday, February 5th. Law enforcement sources said the perpetrator approached the victim, a 26-year-old man, and struck him in the face with an unknown metal object. According to a source familiar with the case, the suspect attacked the victim without provocation, and the victim did not know his attacker. Police reported that the wounded victim got off the train at 67th Avenue, while the suspect remained on board after it left the stop. Officers from the 112 precinct and NYPD District 20 responded to the incident. The victim was taken to NYC Elmhurst Hospital in stable condition with injuries considered non-life threatening. So let's give you a suspect description. Remember, if you see something, say something. In this video, the suspect had short, dark-colored receding hair and a beard and was last seen wearing a dark-colored jacket over a red shirt with white fleur-de-lis on the front, dark-colored pants. He has a light brown complexion in this surveillance video. So let's play you the video one more time. Once again, if you see something, say something. Alright, so that's going to wrap up this video. Again, a lot to uncover here in Queens. It's been very busy around here lately. I haven't done a video like this in a very long time. But, yeah. In fact, I think we have one more story we're going to read. Let's just quickly read this one. So it looks like the migrant shelter on Hillside Avenue is going to close. Yes, this is very interesting news. So, the Humanitarian Emergency Response and Relief Center for the Migrants in Queens Village on Hillside Avenue, it looks like it's going to close. Could this may have something to do with Trump's mass deportation effort? That's a good question. So you have 3 Democrats praising this. State Senator Toby Ann Stavinsky, Assembly Member Ed Braunstein, and Council Member Linda Lee. This facility has housed over 1,000 single adult males since August of 2023. So that's very interesting news. All right, Tom Swazi also praised that this facility is closing. That is very good news. I forgot I had to read this. So they don't mention when this is. Oh, it's going to close in March. Okay, it's going to close in March. That's what the headline says. Okay. Well, I'm glad this is closing because the people around this community were very upset about it. In fact, come to think of it, I think John Rinaldi was protesting this facility. Ah. Alright, so now we wrap up this video. So thank you all very much for watching. Once again, a lot to uncover here in Queens. I just want to mention to New York One this morning, it seems they did a decent job covering the news in Queens somewhat today. I mean, yeah, they could be MIA on other days, but today was that day. I mean, they read the Daily News article on the air. Rocco was covering it, and I want to especially thank Adam from Loud Labs New York and his cameraman Usman for going out to Bayside last night because they were out there covering it. When did you post the video? I will provide that link in the description below because it's very important to support the small journalists on the internet. If Freedom News does have a video, I think Olia was there last night. I think she might have been on scene too. So if she posts a video, I will put her video in the description as well. Please go support small journalists because they need money like everybody else does. Especially because the price of eggs keep going up. And I'll just say this. For all my Catholic and Christian viewers, I do hope that you're going to have eggs ready for Easter. That's all I'm going to say. Hopefully that won't be a problem, but we know how the bird flu situation is. So that's pretty much it. If you have the day off tomorrow, enjoy President's Day off. And if we have any more significant news to cover here in Queens, you know I will cover it right away. So that's it. Thanks for watching.